Well, hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to snowy Chicago. We got December the 5th, 2025. We're just before the noon hour here, like a minute or two. We're going to head back to the zoo. I know we did the zoo yesterday, but we didn't see all of it. We only saw a tiny portion. And it's easy and convenient content for me to do while I'm working from home. We didn't do a stream this morning. I could have did a stream this morning, but I was lazy and warm and use it as an opportunity to just conserve my energy here, and we'll do a walk here at lunch. And we got about 20 degrees, we'll say 22 maybe. It might get up closer to 30. It might get up to like the upper 20s, which I know for most people it's like, so what? But I can tell the difference between 28 and 18, you know, especially with the wind. We got a little wind here. But hey, happy Krampus Day. That's the evil twin of Santa there, I guess. All St. Nick's, the December the 6th is when Santa's, that's like an important date for Santa Claus there. And then I guess December the 5th is Krampus Day. So I know that'll make Grim Evil happy there. Hey, Chris the scanner guy, how you doing there? Sabrina Suburban Garden there. David, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in there. XRT fan. Oh, Robbie, yeah. Prince, AW. 6888. Yeah, happy Friday. Yeah, there's the Belton Stratford. You know where we're at. We got some wind. If it's hard to hear me, don't worry. We're going to go inside some of the greenhouses in the Lincoln Park Zoo. So that's why, you know, I can take the wind. Hey, there's you walking the dog. And, as long as, you know, you get out of it every once in a while. I'm bundled up here. I got, you know, typical wear. But yeah, how's it going, everybody here? Let's see. Son, how you doing? There's Sponsky. James. Yeah, how you doing there? Festivus for the rest of us. Yeah, I'm with you there, James. I don't have a Christmas tree. I have a pole. Literally, I bought one of those little LED poles, and that's my Christmas tree. I'm Festivus for the rest of us. I'm with you there, because I grew up not celebrating Christmas. Why should I start now? But you see how much I enjoy the Christmas lights and the decorations. And we went up there last night. That was fun. And I'm glad we did, because we don't have to go up tonight because the Christmas tree's already lit. They said they were going to light the Christmas tree on December the 5th. That's William Shakespeare. That's the William Shakespeare statue in front of the Belton Stratford there. See, it gets a little slippery here in the sun. But the tree was already lit there at Gallagher Way, Wrigley Field. So we got some good content there, and we can do something else tonight. We can just look for Christmas decorations. Let's see who's tuning in there. Denise, CJK. This is called Chicago. This is Chicago, United States of America, planet Earth. We're in Illinois, the state of Illinois, Chicago, Illinois. We got a couple inches of snow here. We got about, we'll say 22 degrees. Maybe we'll say 20. We got some wind. We're heading over to the Lincoln Park Zoo. So if you want to see, yesterday we saw the lion roar. We saw some reptiles and otters and things, but I'm going to try to see if the grizzly bears are out again. This will be like the third or fourth time we tried to go see the grizzly bears without success. I know that we did see them earlier in November, which I got reruns of that, and I was happy to catch them then. As Ernesto Chicago Nuggies thinks, and I agree with them. Those bears have brought good luck to the real bears, real grizzly bears in the Lincoln Park Zoo that we got from Madison, Wisconsin Zoo, loaned to us, are giving good luck to the Chicago Bears football team. We'll see how they fare against Green Bay this weekend. But yeah, there's a lot of discussions about Chicago being a hellhole. So isn't that so ironic? You know, when I'm showing like the $30 million mansions on Burling Street and all the Christmas lights, I think people are really grasping at straws. You know, there's positive, negatives in every city. There's every city has some hellhole aspects of it, and every city has some, you know, exclusive luxury, gated community, distribution of wealth issues. I tire of this discussion. It just dumbs everything down. You know, for once, I would like a president that would inspire instead of just like beating everybody down. And I've never in my lifetime experienced a U.S. president that bashes his own cities and puts down his own country. And if you don't think that doesn't have an effect on other Americans, it does. He's the fucking president of the United States and he bashes his own country. I'm talking about DT there. There's many things I didn't like about Biden either, but he never like bashed his own country, called his own home country and own cities a hellhole. But hey, you know, we'll move on here. You can believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I'm going to believe, you know. We all live in our own reality. I'm having a good day here. Hopefully you're having a good day. We'll enjoy it and make the best of it. That's how life is. Here, look at that. There's the conservatory. Here's yeah, let's check out the snow drifts. Hey, the dog's got the nice coat on there. So hey, Lincoln Park Zoo. We're at Stockton and Webster here, and we've been here several times for the zoo lights, and it's near where I live. It's a free zoo. I'm gonna take advantage of it. If you don't like it, you can watch something else. A lot of people enjoy this, and that's who I'm doing it for. Here's the zoo lights. Yeah, I'm doing it for myself actually. Here's yeah, we got plenty of content with the zoo lights. Tonight we'll just walk through the neighborhood and we'll see if we can find some more Christmas lights on Burling, Fremont, and Hoyne Street there, or H-O-W-E. And here, Lincoln Park Zoo. If you just joined, we're in Chicago. We got about 22 degrees. And somebody already called us a hellhole. Welcome to the hellhole that's Lincoln Park Zoo, a free zoo. Welcome to hell froze over here. Chicago's a frozen hellhole here. Yeah, it's great. This is buy tickets if you got tickets. Yeah, if you go to the zoo lights. And I know people might just be sarcastic. If you go to the zoo lights at night, I think you gotta pay for most nights. You get a little QR code, and then they just on your phone there. That's what this. But it's free now during the day from 10 a.m. until. I think they kick people out about before 5 o'clock, and then 5:30 they'll start letting people in, the first batch for the zoo lights. But hey, here's the seal pool, Lincoln Park Zoo. Yesterday we tried to go down to the underneath and I lost my connection there, but so we'll skip it now. But there's seals in there, harbor seals and gray seals. They're probably smart and staying under the water. Yeah, what's good? Hey, Grandma's Corner, how you doing there? Yeah, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, Wes. Yeah, all that's left is we're all traders. We're a lefty trader. Here, ice sculptures. Yeah, we saw these ice sculptures. Yeah, love that park there. Snowy areas. There, look at that. So here, look at the nice, hey, look how it's kind of melted a little bit. Look how clear the ice is. It's like crystal there. They did a really good job. How do they freeze a block of ice that big? That's pretty good, you know. Yeah, so, hey, Lincoln Park Zoo. Doesn't look like the lions are out, so we got good footage of the lions yesterday, or at least one lion. It was the interesting juxtaposition of the lion in the snow, but they heat the rocks. Let's see if the macaques are out. So, hey, Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. We're just 12:05, so hey, we're just starting our lunch walk here. Thanks for tuning in here. And hey, one golden Nubian, the Dolores there, Grandma's Corner. Call me fat, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I really appreciate that there's, you know, I really appreciate my moderators because, you know, even though I'm for free speech in this forum, sometimes it just doesn't work. And people always want to hijack the conversation, and I'm a sucker for it because, you know, I do enjoy the debate. It's impossible to have the debate on this platform because you're not having a real conversation in the regular way. When you have it with the comment scroll, it's a different way to have the conversation. Here's the oh wow, they're grooming each other. So hey, here's the macaques. So here's why I come over here, because everyone, see, these rocks are heated, so even in the wintertime, and look, they're grooming each other. So here's the macaques, Lincoln Park Zoo, and the daily ritual there, the socialization of primates. And believe it or not, humans do this in different ways. There's different ways humans stroke each other by just like listening to each other complain. And I know you guys listen to me complain a lot, so hopefully we can help each other out here. Hey, look at that! Look how calm. Like, you know, it's these. I remember when I was in grade school, and they would every year they would look for lice, and they would all. The nurse would have to go through your hair and with the swab. See, look, you ate a bug there. Yeah. look how calm. See, that must be like soothing, you know. And they really do. They look for ticks and bugs and lice and things like that, and they learn to do this, and they groom each other. It's part of the socialization and they're social animals just like we are, just like dogs are social animals. And I don't know, I don't think cats are social animals. Cats are pretty much into themselves. You ever notice that? I think cats, even if they really like their owners, if they were big as us, they would eat us. They just keep us around because we feed them, you know. But hey, here's the macaques. Hey, look, that one's having a seizure. There you see. There's Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois, 1208. Yeah, let's head around here. And yeah, let's see if the snowy owl's out. We came here at nighttime; they weren't out. Yeah, they need a hot spring. They do have. I always wanted to see them sitting in their hot tubs like you see on the nature shows. They have heated water, but for some reason I never see them sitting in it. I never see them sitting in it like you see on the nature things. You know, the ones in Japan, they're up by Mount Fuji and stuff. They sit in the hot springs, or further north, and in the snow. Hey, there's the vulture. That's a vulture. Is Lincoln Park Zoo. Look at it. That guy can turn his neck all the way around and scratch his own back. It's a vulture. That's a big bird there. Regenstein Birds of Prey exhibit here at Lincoln Park Zoo. We got about 22 degrees. We got 12:09 into PM here. Yeah, Samuel, how you doing there? The lice check, yeah. Yeah, you remember that? Yeah, the kids, yeah, they always had to, you always have to check the kids at the school there. Yeah, I remember that. So here's where the bald eagle is. I don't see the bald eagle. There's the snowy owl. So there's the snowy owl right there. Let's see if it turns, we get it to turn its head around. There it is, there's the snowy owl. See how it could turn its head all the way around. How you doing there, snowy owl? Let's get over here. So I'm gonna try to keep a bead on it here. Hold on a sec. I got to get around this tree. So it's hiding behind this tree. So I can get it right there if I. Okay, hold on a second. Let me pan out here a second. So there it is. Hold on. Right there. There it is. There's the snowy owl. See, it's sleeping. See, it's got its little beak there. And every once in a while it turns its head around. It's taking a nap. Look how it blends right in with the snow. The snowy owl, this is what it looks like. That's a picture of it. But here's the Lincoln Park Zoo. There's the snowy owl. Yeah, it's in north side of Chicago. We're up, there it is. There's the snowy owl. There it took to turn its eye. I'm trying to, there, it's looking right at us. So hold on. Where did it go? It's right there. There it is. It's so hard. It's so well camouflaged. How you doing there, snowy owl? See it there? Okay, let's go to the, there's a birdhouse over here. We'll go through the McCormick birdhouse. That was the snowy owl there. It's just hard to see. There it is. There's a bald eagle in here, but I bet it's inside. And there's the reason this one's here. The wings are damaged. It was injured when it was young, and so it lives in the zoo. There are, thankfully, bald eagles in the wild that are in Illinois, the Mississippi River, and people have sighted them around there. Yeah, I agree. I think I'm with you. I think Americans have collectively lost their ability to deal with cold weather. My dad's side of the family were all German American farmers, and they've always been dealing with the cold in wintertime, feeding animals in the cold, and and I always talk about the indigenous people, the pioneers people. They dealt with cold, you know, winter time, you know, it's just all these things we take for granted. And even so many people in the United States have moved to warmer climates, southern part of the United States, but then, you know, air conditioning made that possible, because it would be really hard to live in those areas in the summertime without air conditioning. At least comfortably sleep at night. Here, the McCormick Birdhouse. McCormick Birdhouse. This is Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. That's the power plant. You can see that smokestack. Look at this nice. Yeah, I think this building goes back at least to like the turn of the century, 1900. McCormick Birdhouse, Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah, T-Line tea time. How you doing there? Izzy's tuning in? Good. Hey, well, thanks for checking out the zoo here. Hey, there they go. Hey, there's the birds. They look nice. You got like some lime green plumage here. No, it's yellow. These green ones. Look at these green birds. Look how nice they look. Wow, they're all flying around. It looks just like a leaf. It's amazing how they can match the exact same color of the leaf. They're called a green broadbill. The green broadbill, and then they got a Nicobar pigeon here. Look at all these birds here. More birds this way. Walk this way. See, you come here in wintertime. You come here in wintertime on a weekday. You got the whole zoo to yourself. And so it's like I live near a free zoo. It's like I own a zoo. This is great. Here's hey, it's talking to you there. How you doing there, bird? Hey, you want to be on YouTube? Look how they turn their heads. They look at you sideways. Hey, look at this one. This one's got a yellow. And even you don't even have to go to the zoo to see birds like you go to. There's so many bird sanctuaries. The Montrose Beach there. There's so many bird sanctuaries near the lakefront. You can go down to the south side too, down the South Shore Cultural Center. They got a sanctuary down there too. How you doing there, bird? Birds? Look, they got their little houses, their little bird condos. So this is Savannah. This represents the Savannah biome. Yeah, it's 12:15 in the PM. Why is the time so important? I want to get to the point where I don't have to think about time. I don't have to work for the time clock. When I retire, I'm going to throw away my watch. I always remember one time an architect I worked with for years, he retired, and our boss gave him a clock, and he was like, "Why'd you give me a clock? That's the last thing I want to look at is a clock. You know, it's like the countdown to my death. You know, it's like, why would you give? I'm off the clock now. I'm retired. You know." But it was just it was a nice gesture to give. They gave him like this nice like antique looking clock, and he looked at it like, okay, you know, like you give somebody a timesheet. You know. Basically, there's no barrier here. These birds, if they wanted to, could just hop out of here. Look at the night. Oh, it got a little piece of kelp there or something. How you doing there, bird? So this represents the dunes. So this is like the Indiana Dunes Lakeshore here. These are some of the birds you see here. This is what do we got here? They're called the black-necked stilt American avocet. How you doing there, birds? Yeah, you drinking the water? So, hey, shoreline birds there. Favorite birds in here. And other birds. It's like a mix between an owl. One right there. It needs to raise its head. It turns around here. Here's another bird. How you doing there, frogmouth? Green plumage there. Oh, bird, turn around there. How you doing? Yeah, beautiful. So we'll see if one of these bleeding heart things turns around for us. They're all. See, that's what they look like. They have a bleeding heart. But you know, there it is. Let's see if it lifts its head here. Come over here. See, you can barely see when it lifts up its head. See how it's like a little red? And there it is. There it is, the bleeding heart dove. Okay, let's keep going because the longer I stay in here, I'm getting heated. I'm getting warm. So here's wetlands. Here we got some ducks. How you doing there, ducks? Hey, we'll. This is the biggest room, and this is the McCormick Birdhouse in Lincoln Park Zoo. And you go in the back here, and it's like you're in a little greenhouse here. You're actually in with the birds. So there's birds in here. You got to be careful. They can cramp on your head. See those birds? We're in the cage with the birds. So these birds are used to people walking through there. How you doing there? I like your whiskers there. Look at that. You got like a, yeah. Look at that. That's called a. I think it's on the other side. I'll get you the name of what these things are. There's another one over here. Look at that one. How you doing there, birds? Yeah, they look like penguins, but they're not. They're here, I'll get you the name of it here. It's over here. Here it is. It's an Inca tern. It's an Inca tern. That's what these are. I guess they come from, yeah, they come from Chile. They come from Peru and Chile. So look at this bird. This is like a pheasant. Look at this bird walking around there. I like your plumage there. There, how you doing there? Look at that iridescent green and blue, and you're just walking around here, yeah. The humans chasing me. Stalking the birds. Yeah, Robbie, how you doing here? Yeah, these birds do okay, you know. Oh, look, it left you a little gift there, yeah. That's why I said there. That was like a parrot. That was like a toucan. See, look at all these. These are all the birds that are in here. So if you spend enough time in here, you can really see some birds. Here, look, it's coming back across here. Look, oh, look how it hangs down there. What are you doing there? There's the other one there. Looks like a chicken. They're like dinosaurs. But hey, the McCormick Birdhouse, here we are. You kind of get an overview of this room in the back here. So in the wintertime, I come in here. This is, you know, way from, you can still get warmed up here. Wetland, yeah, here's some more ducks. Yeah, they got the, it's an ibis. It's not a flamingo. This is an ibis. That pink thing there, it looks like a pink flamingo. Yeah, I know there's germs. There's germs everywhere. I mean, the world's a dangerous place. We're always in germs, you know. Like rats carry germs, birds carry germs, the bird flu. Humans carry germs. Yeah, I could bring in germs and affect the birds. You're right. You know, these are all good points. You know, what would Robert Kennedy say about it? No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Here's hey, look at that. Here's the blue-crowned mott, cuckoo. Curacao, helmeted curacao. There it is. It's wearing its helmet there. Look at that. Let's zoom in there. Yeah, I like your helmet there. See, look, it's got a helmet. That's a helmet. There it is. Look at this one. Hey, you got your helmet on there. Look at that. Yeah, you're right there. I like your helmet. It's called the helmeted curacao. Curassow. It's headbanging there. Forest floor. So hey, this is McCormick Birdhouse, Lincoln Park Zoo. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to try to go over and see if the grizzly bears are out. We'll go back out and catch the snow. We got 1222. We got the tawny frogmouse, laughing kookaburra. Look at that bird. What is that? That's called a kagu. K-A-G-U. It's called K-A-G-U, a kagu bird. They come from the Pacific, Micronesia or Macronesia. They come from like the Pacific, South Pacific, over towards Papua New Guinea. Look at that. That's a cute bird there too. Look at this one sitting there. That's different. That's a laughing kookaburra. That's a laughing kookaburra. I would love to hear its bird call. Maybe it sounds like it's laughing. Tropical highlands, the tropical mountains. And here's the island birds here. So hey, Lincoln Park Zoo, Guam kingfisher. Yeah, I remember that the Cherokees used to have people they would translate the kingfisher, but it wasn't the bird kingfisher. There used to be a animal called a kingfisher, and they were hunted to extinction in the Appalachians. And there's some in Canada. Anybody heard of a kingfisher? You know, it's like a. I need to look that up. It's some animal that used to live in the mountains there. It was called a kingfisher, but the birds are called kingfishers too. So here, let's head over to the Regenstein African journey. We'll head through there, and then we'll pop out, and we'll be on the side of the bears there. Kookaburras, Flipper's voice. Oh, really? That's good. Thanks for the good information. Aisha's tuning in there. Yeah, if I missed your comments there, I was trying to focus on the birds there. Thanks for tuning in here. We're in Chicago, Illinois. This is Lincoln Park Zoo. I'm on my lunch break here. We got 12:24 in the p.m. We got about 22 degrees outside, I guess. Hey, they built a snowman. Look, the zebras and the giraffes. There's a snowman over there. You see it? Yeah, let's see if the penguins are out. Maybe the penguins are out since it's snow time. Oh yeah, that's why I took a break this morning. I did not live stream this morning because there was no reason for me. I was already home. I'm working from home. I didn't go out this morning, so it's much warmer. Oh, no, not much warmer. It's warmer, a little bit warmer now than it was this morning. So, and the sun came out, and that helps. So the penguins are not out, even though it's cold outside. And we'll see if the grizzly bears are out and the polar bear here. But first, we'll walk through this. There's the giraffe. But hey, they got a snowman. They got a snowman with the zebras there. I wonder who built that. Yeah, it's the zoo. We're back at the zoo. We were here yesterday, and we're back today because we only saw a small portion of it yesterday. It's not a huge zoo, but I don't have much time on my lunch break here. So here we'll go through the Regenstein African journey. There's hippopotamuses, maybe you see the meerkats. Yesterday we saw the lion, and you can watch that rerun there on the YouTube reruns. I might cut it out and transfer it. I got so much content now. I'm backed up on my content. Hey, they got it decorated for the holidays here. Yeah, they got Christmas trees. I think they opened this up for the zoo lights. You can walk through here at night. And this is the Regenstein African journey at the Lincoln Park Zoo. We go through here several times a month. We walk through here. People are like, "You here again?" Yeah, I'm here again. This is what we do. There's the birds. There's birds. There's Diana monkeys here. There's spoonbill. Look at the spoonbills. Look at these birds. And again, we're in the cage with the birds. There's the Diana monkeys. How you doing there, Diana monkey? Yeah. Climbing around. Hey, we got the spoonbill. Hey, there's the monkeys. Yeah. Diana monkey. How you doing there? Climbing up to the top, looking out the window. King of the mountain. How you doing there, spoonbill? We got these birds. Oh, that one got a fish. Look, it just ate it. Look, they got a bunch of green food. They got some cereal or something. Hey, let's keep going here. Hey, we got a waterfall. Hey, we're doing good, Mike. How you doing? Yeah, thanks for tuning in there. Spatula. Yeah, it's like a big spatula mouth. You got the tongs there for your mouth. There's the crocodile, West African dwarf crocodile. We'll see if we find it here. I don't see it. You see it under the water here. Sometimes it's under the, there it is, it's under the log. So that's exactly what crocodiles do. They'll find a rock or a log and they'll sleep underneath it, and then they're protected. Look at that. Keep its head out, keep its nose out of the water. So here's a trigger warning if you don't like hissing cockroaches. Here's Madagascar hissing cockroaches. So close your eyes. This is it represents the inside of a tree, rotting tree trunk, and these are all hissing cockroaches. There's a piece of glass in between me, but there they are. They're real. Isn't it amazing? The zoo keeps a bunch of insects here. You know, they just I guess they eat the dead wood here. Look at them all. Hey, it's a bug's life, Bug City. They used to have spiders, but they don't even try to keep the spider anymore. I think the spider escaped and they just gave up. But here we'll walk under the huts here. How you doing? And here we'll go through the here. So here we'll go see the hippopotamus here. How you doing? Oh, I'm sorry. Go. Hey, they got the nice sculpture here. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if we got the pygmy hippopotamus. There it is. Look at it. There it is right here. Very nice. There it is. There's the pygmy hippopotamus there. Look at it. Look at it. Oh, it's chomping on something. It's really good. It's actually eating something here. So, hey, the Lake and Park Zoo. Here's the pygmy hippopotamus. It's chowing down on a big piece of loop. Yeah. And he's doing... It's nice to see it out here and active here. I'll sit right down. There you can see it underwater there. It's funny when they walk around. Yeah, imagine one of those in your kitchen. It's chowing down. It's pretty active today. Let's see if it turns around. Maybe it'll give us a nice cameo here. Pete, how you doing there? Lincoln Park Zoo. Look, it's under the water here. There it is. Yeah, please, if you like this, hit the like, hit the thumbs up there, double tap the screen. At least for the hippopotamus. Don't do it for me, do it for the hippopotamus here. Yeah, it's not often I see the hippopotamus eating on stuff here, so we'll get as much footage as we can here, and then we'll go over and see if we can see the grizzly bears. There, it's coming back up. There it is. Look at its ears. So here, we'll keep going here. Baby hippopotamus, yeah, it's a pygmy. So here, there's the scrubland here. We got the clip-springers. The clip-springers, a little baby deer. And we got some more birds over here. You can see there's some birds there. There's the clip-springer. Look, it's sitting on its green mat there. They're so cute. They look like baby deer, but they're adults. They're clip-springers, and they got little hooves, and they can climb on the rocks like mountain goats. And aren't they so cute here? Yeah, the hippopotamus. That was a hungry hippo. You're right. Hungry hippos. Hey, look at the cute little clip-springer there. How you doing there? Oh, the baby deers. So hey, let's see if maybe the giraffes are in eating their lunch here. The giraffes are not out in the snow. That would be interesting. I don't think they even put them outside in the snow. There's the snowman. The zebras. Here, let's see if the meerkats are out here. Mosquitoes. Yeah, mosquitoes can carry diseases. Oh, look at the meerkats. Look how cute they look there. Oh, how you doing there, Meerkats? There, yeah. You saying hello? What do you say there, Meerkats? Yeah, you sitting on your log there. Look at these two buddies here. Oh, how you doing there, Meerkats? Thanks for saying hello. So if we're not saying hello, we're stuck here. Where are we gonna go? Yeah, you gonna walk around there? So that, I think, yeah, one of them only has 3 legs. That one only has 3 legs, but it still does all right. And look at these two sitting here. What's it all about, huh? What are you thinking there? Said, why do these people keep walking through here? Where are they going? Rudolph, yeah, the Meerkats. Thanks for checking out the Meerkats. See, they got a nice habitat here. They got all these logs and they got little caves and stuff. And I think these are all like siblings. They're all related to each other. They said that the females will not tolerate other females, so they'll fight. And so I think there's one female and the rest are males, and then there's one female and the rest, there's two brothers. There's the giraffe. Wow, there's the giraffe. How you doing? I'm on YouTube here. I'm talking to the audience here. There's the giraffe. Look, it's chewing its cud. That's amazing. That's nice. So, hey, Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. We're getting a good view of the giraffe. Look at the eyelashes there. They got the long eyelashes there. There's 2 of them. How you doing there, giraffe? You chewing your cud? You chewing the gum? You chewing some Wrigley spearmint? Yeah. You gotta lick the rock. Look at those horns. They're not ears, so they got like 2. They're underneath their skin, and then they got ears behind it. And look, there's the meerkats running around here. There's 3 meerkats. These meerkats came from the Wisconsin Zoo, just like the grizzly bears. Look, they're all trying to get out. They're trying to run up the rocks there. Look at that. They're trying to escape because they see the giraffe. The giraffe's looking at them. Look, the giraffe's looking at the meerkats. I bet the giraffe sits there all day and just watches the meerkats run around. It's entertainment. All the giraffes are beautiful. Look at this. How you doing there, giraffe? I just want to show the meerkats because the giraffe was looking at the meerkats. But isn't this nice? This is, the giraffes, when they let them out in the springtime, they gallop around and they frolic. They run. I've never seen giraffes run, but they can actually like gallop like horses. They got the big long legs. Hey, it's looking at you there. How you doing there, giraffe? Zoom in and get your face there. Get a close up. Oh, how you doing there? Look how they chew it from side to side. They kind of grind on those molars in the back there. They probably got several stomachs like cattle, herbivores. How you doing there, meerkat? There's the other giraffe. So there's 2 giraffes. Here's the other giraffe, Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. Here it comes. Yeah, you gotta lick the rock there. You got big long tongues. Hey, how you doing there, giraffe? Thanks for saying hello. What are you doing there? Look at that. What is it doing? It's licking the air. Something's in the air tonight. It's tasting the air. Look, it's looking right at you. You got the 2 giraffes here. They're got a neck. They're gonna make out. You're gonna do a kiss there. Do the kiss cam. Yeah. Yeah, the eyelashes are great. There, look at the giraffes here. Lincoln Park Zoo. Look at those spots. Okay, thank you. Thanks. The antler bumps on their head are called ossicones. Ossicones. Thanks for the good information there. See, I learned something from my good audience there. Thanks for helping out there. Yeah, Bisa Lisa would give you a gold star there. There, let's see. So it's gonna eat. See how they can eat the food out. They put the food in that basket there, so they can, just like in the tree, they put it up high because that's where they usually get it from the trees. Oh, it avoids burns from the sun. The tongues are blue. Oh, because so their tongues would get sunburnt when they're always trying to get the leaves and stuff. See, there it shows you how they eat right there. Eating the twig. That's some good fiber there. Well, hey, thanks for checking out the giraffes here. We got see they got the nice habitat. They go back in the back there. They got a place in the back and they can go outside, but I don't think they're letting them outside today because of the snow. But here's the giraffes, Lincoln Park Zoo, walking around. And then the meerkats are in the foreground here. Hey, Chicago, USA. Bob, how you doing there? Yeah, this is a free zoo. This is free and open to the public during the day. The only thing you got to pay for is the zoo lights at night. And those used to be free, but then recently they added admission. But here's meerkats. See oh, look at the meerkats are all together. They're all three meerkats. Let's get them. There's the three meerkats. And there's the giraffe walking around. So hey, let's keep going here. Let's see. Maybe if we get really lucky, we'll see the grizzly bears. Let's see if the grizzly bears are out. And if we catch those grizzly bears in the snow, I'll consider it a good omen for the Green Bay game because I am superstitious and paranoid and believe in conspiracy theories. Here's the fish. Look at all the fish. So hey, we'll head out of the Regenstein African Journey, Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. We got 12:39. So here, let's see if we can catch the grizzly bears. No promises. The last several times I went here, we did not see the grizzly bears. So they do what they want to do. If they want to sleep indoors, that's what they do. See, they got a pool down there. I don't see them swimming. I have caught that used to be the polar bear habitat. There's still a polar bear habitat, but they gave some of the polar bear habitat to the grizzly bears, and so the grizzly bears got that swimming pool. But I have not seen them swimming in it yet. But that would be awesome to see the grizzly bears swimming there. I have caught in the polar bear swimming there once, so we got footage of that. We got reruns of the polar bear swimming, and yeah, since they're running over there, maybe there's a chance that the bears are out. I'm hoping that they're seeing some bears there. That's why they ran over there. We'll see. There's the Lincoln Park Zoo. Maybe not. There they got the waterfall. And nope, no bears. No bears. But hey, they got a nice habitat here. Let's see if the polar bear's out. The polar bear's south of here. Yeah, the giraffes. We got some good footage of the giraffes there. Thanks for checking it out. Meerkats, yeah. Yeah, go Bears. It's going to be tough because the Bears are playing in Green Bay. It's going to be cold. Well, the Bears are used to the cold. Green Bay's used to the cold. But it's always tough to win at Lambeau, and especially for the Bears. And I don't want to jinx it and get my hopes up, you know. But yeah. And see how they got this ice here that you can feel. It's ironic now because we got snow on the ground. You get this fake ice, but this is yeah. The grizzly bears are not out. Let's see if the polar bear's out. And normally you could look that way, but they soaked it up. I think it's because they don't want the grizzly bears looking at the polar bear looking at the grizzly bear. I think that's what it is. No, there's a big moat there. There's a big pit. I'm sure the polar bear lived there for years. There were two polar bears lived there for years. There's one. The other one's in the Wisconsin Zoo. They're loaning it up there to try to mate it with another polar bear. And this is the animal hospital. This is the veterinary hospital for the zoo. There's a lower level. Ernie knows all about it. Ernie used to work for the zoo. That's what this building is here. And there's like a hill that goes down to the oh, they got the polar bear exhibits closed. So I wonder there might be something going on with the female polar bear. I wonder if maybe they moved her to Wisconsin too. I don't know. Something's going on with the bears. But hey, Lincoln Park Zoo, we'll head back around here. San Diego, yeah, so yeah, I'm jealous. I'm sure you got much better, warmer weather. I'm okay with the snow in December because it's very festive, but then by January and February I get like everybody else, I get tired of the winter. But now it's okay. Now I don't mind even the cold temperatures. We were walking around at 18 degrees last night. I did not walk this morning. It was only like maybe like 10 degrees, but I think there was a little wind. So if I had a reason to go downtown, I would have walked, but I didn't, so I worked from home. But here, that's what we just walked through. That's where you go to see the giraffes and the meerkats and the hippo. So hey, we saw the hippo, the meerkats, and the giraffe. We saw a lot of birds, and we saw the macaques. I might just walk through the lion house to see if the lions are on the other side, and then we can. The flamingos, excuse me, the flamingos were not out yesterday, probably because of the snow. I have seen them out in the snow in years past, but it might be too cold for them today. Yeah, San Diego has an amazing zoo. I should have mentioned that. San Diego, of course, not just from Three's Company, but yeah, you know, San Diego has one of the best zoos in the world. Yeah, in that beautiful park there. What is it, Balboa Park? A lot of Spanish Renaissance revival buildings in that park. And yeah, San Diego. I would love to do some live streaming from Southern California, not just San Diego, but Los Angeles, Santa Monica, Santa Barbara, even like Pasadena. You know, we'll get over there sometime. But I'm stuck in Chicago for now. At least we're gonna take a Texas trip with my father for the holidays. We might do Dallas, and we might do well, we'll definitely do Houston, because that's where I have family down there. We might get to Galveston. In years past, we went to Corpus Christi, and we went to Austin. We went to San Antonio. We did the 7 Spanish missions. Went to the hill country. Here's the macaques. Yeah, the macaques are still grooming. I'll just briefly show you the macaques again if people missed it before. If you want to rerun from before, the macaques were grooming themselves. Here they're all bunched up here, so it's nice to see them all together here. Here's the macaques, the Lincoln Park Zoo. They're grooming. See, these rocks are heated, so a lot of times they'll hug each other. Look, there you go. There's the birds and the bees right there. There's your educational, you know. Look, it's picking its butt there. That's enough of that. But hey, here's look at this. This one's like, oh, nobody loves you. You got to sit all by yourself. Oh, the poor. It probably wants to be alone. It's like screw those other monkeys. I'm gonna go over here by myself. Get away. Yeah, they were mating. They were mating and baiting there. Yeah, they were going to town, doing it nasty. Hopefully I won't get a copyright, or hopefully I won't get a demerit here on the. Did we violate the terms and conditions? Hey, welcome to the Lincoln Park Zoo, Chicago, Illinois. 12:46 here. Yeah, happy Friday. Everybody ready for the weekend? Hey, there's the lion. It's roaring. It roared yesterday. It's roaring today. There's the lion. Lion in the snow. There, it's rolling over. Ah, taking a nap. Very nice. Yeah, the lion. The lion's out in the snow. Look on the heated rocks there. Yeah, very nice. Yeah, putting on a good show here. How you doing? Ah, good. So, African lion there. We got some really good views of it yesterday. We got some close up of his face. It was looking right at us. Again, the rocks are heated. The rocks in front there, they're heated, and so that's why the lion's laying there. That it's keeping warm on its underside, and it has a bunch of fur, and they're large mammals like us. That lion can go inside if it wants. That lion's got to put. Oh, okay. Good. Thank you. Thanks for letting me know. Thank you. Appreciate it. So hey, they're having a board meeting. Good. So good. So we'll go over and we'll check out we'll see if the flamingos are out, and then we'll have to start heading back because I'll work from home this afternoon. Probably the same deal after 5 o'clock tonight. We'll just walk through the residential streets of western part of Lincoln Park and see if we can see more Christmas decorations, we didn't see many last night except when we got to the Wrigley Field and Wrigleyville area, which where those bars were all decorated. I get frustrated because they're all reserved this time of year. There's always Christmas parties and you got to be on a guest list, and you know, I just, that annoys me. I never really liked the VIP stuff, but you know, that's Wrigleyville. You go to Vegas, it's the same thing. You got to be VIP, get table service. Everything costs $1,500 for an hour. You know, it's horrible. It's just, no wonder Vegas is not as... I heard tourism's down in Las Vegas, but that might have changed now. I don't know. So the flamingos are not out because it's the snow. And here at Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah, the zoo's so isolated. No, it's just cold. It's just cold. It's a Friday. Nobody's here. That's why I said I enjoy living next to the zoo in Chicago in wintertime, because hardly anybody comes here in the wintertime. It's a free zoo, and you feel like you got the whole zoo to yourself. And when I come here in summertime, I get overwhelmed because there's a lot of field trips and kids running around, and it's harder, you know. And there's all these parents looking at me like, what are you doing, you evil live streamer? I said, that's why I'd rather come here in the wintertime and have less judgment. But hey, that's good, Jeremy. I like that. Thanks for the good feedback. That's why we all learn from each other. I've learned from other people's live streams. You get a feel for a city or an area. And yeah, that's why I walk in all 4 seasons. If you got to... People are like, what's it like to live in Chicago? I said, you know, you might like it here in the summer, but you might not like it here in the winter time. And I mean, people that lived here their whole life don't like it here in the winter time. You know, it's just the winter gets long, but you got to find ways to embrace the winter, do winter sports, get involved in some indoor activities, take vacations, you know, and that's what we're doing here. So here are the zoo lights. There it is. This is the, we got reruns of the zoo lights. We went here several times. You can check out the other Chicago live streamers. Hey, there's the otter. Yeah, you take the good with the bad. Positive, negatives, everything. Even if you live in Miami, Florida or Honolulu, you know, there'll be something that you're living in paradise, but then there's something that always either high cost of living or hurricane or volcano or something, you know. There's always, like California, look at California, it's beautiful, like, but there's always earthquakes, mudslides, Santa Ana winds, wildfires, you know. It's the way it is. But hey, we saw the lion in the snow there. See, those rocks are heated. They're heated in the front. That's why it's laying there. And they do that with the macaques too. And you know, it's so the animals sit on the heated rocks and they're up close to the glass so people can see them. And I know that people feel bad for the animals, but these animals live a good life, you know. Positive, negatives of living in the zoo. Just watch the Madagascar movie with the animation. Hey, let's see if we see some seals here. There's the seal pool. Yeah, there's one's going under right there, so one just went under there. See if you see it coming around here. Hey, hope everybody has a good Friday. If you missed any part of this, you can watch the rerun. We went to the zoo yesterday. We went to the zoo today. If you go to the live tab on my YouTube. Last night we went to Wrigley Field. We saw, there it is. There's a seal. Yeah, it's coming over here. How you doing there, seal? See, the seals like this weather. They don't mind it. Most of the time it's too hot for them. They're like, it's finally the weather we like. There's the seal, Lincoln Park Zoo. Yeah. Cute swimming, yeah. Oh, yeah, that's ice carving. So yeah, if you rewind to the beginning, I'll show them here really quick, and then I gotta get out of here. I gotta go back to work. These are ice sculptures. So yeah, this is part of the zoo lights. At night, they'll have somebody with a chainsaw or something carving these things. These are from last week, and these have been here all week. I'm sure this weekend they'll probably carve up some new ones. Here's the name of the company, Nadius, that does the ice sculptures. I guess they contract with them to do it here. And these are lasting a long time because it's cold. But the first ones they made before Thanksgiving, they melted. And here we got a dolphin, we got a tree, we got a nice snowman made out of ice. We got a snowflake and a penguin. But it looks really clear ice. Yeah. Oh, 443 Wrightwood. Worked at the Playboy building. That's great. I always point out the Playboy Palmolive building, that Limburg light. They turn it on every once in a while. That's a nice location. 443 Wrightwood. Yeah, we walked right by there last night. There's Sister Arts is around there. They do the yarn art. We got reruns of that. They crocheted these women cartoon figures around the tree, and they're wearing dresses and stuff crocheted out of yarn. But yeah, Wrightwood and Halstead. We went by Kingston Mines, and I'm sure you probably went to the Burwood Tap. That's where Bad Leroy Brown used to hang out there. From the Jim Croce song. Even though he was from the South Side in the song, you know, he was in the military with him. That's why he wrote that song, Jim Croce. Bad. He actually went AWOL, and they arrested him. That's why he was Bad Leroy Brown. Yeah, we'll stay warm. I'm heading back home, so we got 12:54. I'll get you up to the Billy Shakespeare statue. We'll head through the snow here. So if you like this content, please subscribe for free there. Appreciate it. Or give me a thumbs up, or just bookmark this. After 5 o'clock tonight, once it gets dark, we'll go back. I plan on going back through the neighborhood tonight. We'll look for more Christmas decorations in Lincoln Park. We might go back by that house with all the Christmas trees, because I'll explore more Burling, and we'll go down Orchard, and we'll do Howell Street. We'll do those streets. We'll systematically go down all the streets and figure out where the best Christmas decorations. Usually Fremont Street, Bissell Street usually has really good Christmas decorations. Orchard Street has really good Christmas decorations. Cleveland Street, and Dayton Street has usually good Christmas decorations. So we'll check all those places out eventually over the next 2 weeks. Crunchy snow, yeah. Just watch out for the yellow snow. Yeah, thanks, D-Lime Tea Time, Mike, Wes, Ronald. That's good. Hey, share the love here, Mike. That's good. Yeah, thanks everybody for being cool in the chat here. And happy Hanukkah. Yeah, thanks, Ronald. Happy Hanukkah. I got to mention that. Last night we went up to Wrigleyville, and we filmed all the Christmas bars. There is one, at least one, I think there's two. The one we saw, there's a Hanukkah bar. It's called 8 Crazy Nights, and that's on Sheffield there. It's north of the Nisei Lounge there. It's a pop-up. They rebrand all those bars for Christmas. They did it for Halloween too. So most of them are Christmas bars, but there is a Hanukkah bar. It's called 8 Crazy Nights, and it's all blue. It's nice. But here, let's, I don't know if there's a Kwanzaa bar. There should be. Here, let's, and then today's Krampus Day. Maybe Grim Evil tune in tonight. We can talk about Krampus. He's Santa's evil brother there. But hey, we got December the 5th. There's the John Hancock. There's the fountains all closed up. Yeah, I'll, thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, I don't want to forget about my Muslim friends. Thanks for tuning in there. I try to respect all faiths, and I'm a pretty secular person. I don't really buy any gifts. You can ask my relatives, and I really don't get into the commercial side of it. I just film the Christmas lights because it's free, at least for me, unless somebody's paying for the electricity, I know. And we do pay like $12 to get in through the lights, but thanks to Tombot, he paid for all of our emissions, so I appreciate that. Here's Lincoln Park Conservatory. I got reruns there. That's a greenhouse. They got a poinsettia show. We got reruns on TikTok and YouTube about that. Here, we'll head through the tunnel here. We got 12:58. This is perfect. So we'll get to the Billy Shakespeare statue. I'll sign off, and we'll see you after 5 o'clock tonight. If I do any live streaming over the weekend, it'll be on TikTok. I'm on TikTok as well, Brian Really Chicago. and I'm on YouTube. Yeah, I do have some backups on Instagram, but no one. Instagram, my videos go nowhere. It's not just me. I saw Chef Mo there, Christopher. He's from New York, but he's been streaming from Indonesia for a long time here in Bali. But he's the same as me. He's huge on TikTok. I got more followers on TikTok than YouTube, and then he's got a presence on YouTube. But then his Instagram, just like me, most live streamers are TikTok because TikTok really pushes the live streams, but Instagram goes nowhere. He's got less than 1,000 followers on Instagram, so do I. So I'm in good company here. Here's the Belton Stratford, and here's the. It's because Mark Zuckerberg doesn't like me. Here's the Billy Shakespeare statue here. Look at the snow on Shakespeare. What you call it there, Billy? There's the Belton Stratford. The wind's blowing, so I'm gonna get back warm here. Have a great rest of your day here. Thanks for tuning in there. Yeah, appreciate it. NAIM name, T like tea time, Mike, Wes, Ronald. We'll see y'all later there. Michael Rodriguez. Take care, Christy, Denise. Yeah, thanks everybody. Chicago, Illinois, United States of America. I'm gonna sign off. If you like this, I'll be back on after 5 o'clock tonight. We're gonna check out Christmas decorations in Lincoln Park, Chicago. So we'll see you. 4 hours. Thanks everybody. Talk to you.